all your art in that one file and sell it from like your website. If you would have a website or get somebody to create a website for you, you can sell it on there. They'll pay you for it in advance using Visa, MasterCard. You email them the link to your ebook.
And how do you market it to get it on?
How do you market it?
I'll talk to that.
Okay. You had a question?
Would you recommend that we get our work copyrighted before sending it out to be published or anywhere? Should we get it copyrighted first? Or
You can get it copyrighted. I recommend that you get it copyrighted. I think it's $40 now for a copyright. In case there's any kind of legal mess that would come up, you could do it online. You could apply for it online. But according to the Copyright Act of 1977, once your intellectual property, your book, is in printed form, and you put copyright 2011, your name, and have it printed, you are protected, according to the Copyright Act of 1977. Man, you had a question?
I have a different one now, but so what's the difference between the copywriting and the intellectual property route? Do you do those simultaneously, or are they two separate?
It's the same thing. Your intellectual property is your ideas that you put down in paper or on a website or in an ebook, paintings or whatever. Okay?
Okay.
So if you take your paintings, your artwork, your printing, you can take your whole collection and put them, publish them in a file, or publish them on hardcover, paper. If you contain all of your images in one unit, you can put a copyright date on the copyright page, and the whole shebang is copyrighted. Okay, you could have 100 different art pieces, compose them into a book, get a copyright application, fill it out, send them a copy of the book, and one for yourself. That way, you're protected. Your art is protected. Who else has a question?
I have one more. In the ISBN, that's just the number for sales. Am I right? Or is it just the
ISBN, let's see, it stands for International Standard Book Number. And what is the question again?
Is it for sales, like to count the sales, or to recognize the sales?
That is how the bookstore, who has 1 million books, how will they differentiate your book from Joe Blow's book next to yours? So the ISBN number is incorporated into a barcode. So when they scan that barcode, it'll come up as your book. Because that has to be entered in when you present your book to them at the store. The clerk will enter in your code number into the system so that the computer will recognize it from then on.
The reorder. Is there a difference between what you would do for a copyright of a manuscript or artwork and what you would do for something that's like an invention?
Yeah. An invention goes through a different process. Okay, you would, I would like to learn more about inventions and patents and
That's what you have to
yeah, patents. It's a different process.
Rather than
But
copyright.
Copyright, you can copyright your booklet, brochure, musical recording, and so on and so forth. But product like a pen or a recorder or whatever, you have to go through the whole process of doing technical drawings, a description, and a friend of mine did one called the, it was a cooker, like a beer can cooker, but she made it out of stainless steel and used beer and whatever else, and she went through the whole process. Cost her $10,000 to do the whole deal. But she's marketing her cookers around the state and making good money.
So do you do this full time now?
I do it full time since June 2005.
And do you find that books are becoming less desirable and going more towards online and all the different ways to get it?
In my experience, the opposite is true. I make more by putting a physical book out in a store where people can see it than I do online.
So when you started your publishing company, were you interested in publishing books for other authors as well, or just your own work?
I took the opportunity to publish Keith Duyon's artwork. I was working full-time for this other guy, and I showed it to him because the packet was addressed to him. So I said, here, look, you got a submission, a manuscript submission, and it's for a Cajun coloring book. He thumbed through the art real quick and sneered at it. He says, this is insulting to the Cajun culture. He called it stereotypical drawings of alligators and and so I said, okay. He says, I have too much on my plate, I don't want to do it. Do you want to do it? If you want to do it, I give it to you. I release it to you to take it. I said, thank you. So I took it, I put it together within just a few months, and like I said, I've sold 10,000 copies. Does that answer your question? I have a lot of ideas in my mind of things that I want to publish. Even though I've only done one book for someone else, I am open to the idea of doing for others. Like if you have let's say a cookbook
I do.
that you want published, we could, work together on that. So,
Neil, what I'm intrigued with is every book that you have dealt with, or every publication, it appears as though each one is unique in the marketing aspect of it. And the thing that I've seen is I've known people who've written books, or they produce things, or they produced artwork, but it seems like the link breaks when they get into marketing. How do you get it out in front of the people? Is there a philosophy that you hold, since every one of them appears to be different, and also the auxiliary services that you offer with that? Like she has a book of photographs of wildlife. Is it?
Well, it's just like I have a photograph of an egret walking across a whole row of turtles. I call Supporting Friends.
Right.
And it's really pretty. And it's my #1 seller. And I want to do something with that concept of supporting friends of the egret walking across a row of turtles. Because usually turtles in a swamp, they jump when they see people.
Right.
And this is a unique picture, and I want to do something with it. It's one example.
Can you come up with some ideas on marketing, just using her as an example, on photography, either in a book form and/or an individual form?
And I want to do something on, I have bluebirds, I want to do a story on Billy Bluebird, like a children's book. Billy Bluebird, I have a whole documentary of him and his wife, and having babies and raising them and coming out of the nest, and he comes when I call in, and, you know. And I wanna do something for children that would be,
Well, if you get your book, I can tell you how to get your book published. But if you have your books published and you have
but
books.
I wanna do them in photography. But then I was looking at what you
You're
had.
gonna publish
I don't
photography?
know what I'm gonna do.
All I'm saying is, if you wanna sell them, you're interested in Barnes and Noble, you call them up, you'll get a salesperson, you tell them what you're interested in, and they will probably connect, you say, you need to talk to so-and-so in this department, and they will probably connect you with the right person. So you run into some people who are not always nice, but most people are pretty nice.
Yeah.
Getting you to the
I believe that.
right person. And you call.
But you have to have it published first, or they, what you're saying, they'll tell you who to contact?
The Barnes and Noble doesn't.
Why they just might, it was by this guy called Peter Walsh, and it was actually very helpful.
The only thing I can tell
It's
you,
hard to get a publisher now. You may have to pay.
Oh, like the Pedgars, I see they have LSU Publishing or something, someplace like that.
I've never used, I've always done it myself. I've always published my own stuff myself. I've never used another publisher to publish my stuff. But one of the things that I find important is to pick a cover image that will sell the book itself.
That's the first
Okay.
thing they see.
When I put this together, I would walk into the store and I would hope that the person in charge was a woman. Because I can tell you almost 90% of the time when I walk into the store, I walk in with it like this. And when the woman would see it, she'd say, "Oh, look how cute!" And it is, it's cute. And she'd say, "Oh, wow." Then she'd look in the back and look through it, and she'd look at the images and she'd laugh. I say, "Oh, I got her sold." So it's an easy sell because the front cover is so cute. You could do the same thing. Pick an intriguing picture for the front cover that will absolutely sell the book.